After a lifetime of searching, I'd finally found my family, cured my grandmother's blindness, and even earned a place among them. But just as I began to feel safe, a voice echoed through the crowded conference. Who was it? Why were they here? And what did their unexpected appearance mean for my newfound family, for Cherry, and for me? My family was almost destroyed until I met them and saved them. I turned around and then I spotted him, Justin. I forced myself to look away, ignoring him. I didn't care about him, but then again, I cared about my son. Melissa and Simon's voices broke through my thoughts. They were greeting Justin with warmth. "Justin, it's been a while," Melissa exclaimed. "It seems that you already know Nora." Justin's voice was calm. "Simon, Melissa, it's good to see you both. And yes, I've met Nora a few times. Can't say I know her, though." He then added smugly, "And you know Nora, how?" Simon grinned, excited. "It's a long story, but long story short, she's our niece. We found her in the most coincidental way." Justin nodded, his gaze never on me. "Niece, that's interesting." He checked his watch. "I should go." He walked away fast. I hesitated, but I needed to do this. I followed him. "Justin, wait." He stopped, but didn't turn fully. I exhaled, keeping my voice steady. "I just wanted to say I'm sorry for last time, when we argued." Every word tasted bitter, but keeping Pete in mind, maybe we could be friends again? For the first time, he looked at me. Just for a second. Then, without a word, he turned and walked away. I swallowed back the sting of rejection, forcing myself back to Melissa and Simon. They were engaged in a heated conversation with Mr. Lucas, a smug middle-aged man. "Simon, let's be real. Your pharmacy is outdated. The Myers family produces superior drugs. Business isn't about favors anymore." Beside me, Melissa tensed, her fingers curling into fists. "Your mother perfected so many formulas, everyone begged for them. Now, suddenly, we're beneath them?" Lucas grinned, as if enjoying the power he held. "I'll do you one last favor. I'll buy your stock, at a 60% discount." Simon's grip tightened around his champagne glass. "That's robbery." Lucas merely shrugged. "Then let the pills expire. No one else will buy them. They were in a terrible place. If things kept going like this, they could fall into debt. I couldn't let that happen. I had to help them." Before Simon could say something, Sheena stepped in, her tone calm but controlled. 20% discount. Take it or leave it." Lucas smirked again, stepping closer, his voice lowering. "We can discuss it. Privately." My attention suddenly flickered across the hall, and I spotted a tall, well-dressed man speaking quietly with Mr. Myers near a secluded corner. Leaning slightly toward Melissa, I murmured, "Who's that?" Melissa followed my gaze before responding, "That's Joel Smith. He's most likely asking about the Carefree Pill for his uncle, Ian Smith." Ian Smith, the letter. "Mr. Myers, you promised me a way to get the Carefree Pill. My uncle needs it," Joel pressed, his voice measured but persistent. Mr. Myers only shook his head. "Unfortunately, Joel, I'm sorry, but I won't be able to help you with this. With any other pill, I wouldn't have even given it a second thought, but this, it's the Carefree Pill." Joel's jaw clenched, his voice dropped. "I see." My attention snapped back to Sheena when I noticed Lucas's hand slide toward hers, his fingers stroking her skin suggestively. Sheena's voice was firm, unwavering. "Let go, now." Lucas didn't budge. His other hand began straying toward her waist. Before he could react, I moved. My fingers locked around his wrist. Lucas stiffened. My voice was quiet, icy. "If you embarrass yourself in public, you'll never show your face again." His teeth gritted as he yanked his hand back. "You'll regret this. Who even are you? Anderson's new puppet. No one will dare buy your products." A strong, commanding voice sliced through the tension. "Who says no one will buy them?" All heads turned. Justin Hunt strode forward. "NYC General Hospital will procure all of Harmonia's traditional medicines," he stated flatly. 5,000 pills per month. Everyone gasped. Lucas paled. Justin's eyes found mine. "Let's finalize this, Miss Smith." Arms crossed, I studied him. 5,000 pills? Does that include new products? He didn't hesitate. "Yes." I nodded, my voice cool. "The new pill will cost around $800 each for you. It's called the Carefree Pill." Lucas stumbled back, laughing nervously. "You're bluffing." Melissa whispered beside me. Your mother must have left the formula to you, or did she leave behind a few pills? I met her gaze. No. She left me the formula, which I have already given to Cheryl. She's working on it as we speak. We'll be able to produce the Carefree Pill again. Melissa's eyes shimmered with gratitude. Nora, you have no idea what this means for us, for the company, for the people who need it. I smiled, steady. I do. That's why I did it. From the corner of my eye, I caught Mr. Myers stepping forward, arms crossed, amusement playing on his lips. He scoffed. Sounds like a desperate strategy by the Andersons. Let's be honest, you're likely to go into debt soon. You can't possibly have the Carefree Pill because I was the one who invented it. Melissa snapped, voice sharp. That's a lie. Yvette was the one who invented it. And now, Yvette's daughter Nora has the formula. I reached into my pocket, pulling out a small black pill, holding it up for all to see. Here's the real deal. The murmurs grew louder. Dr. Lincoln, a well-respected practitioner, stepped forward, took the pill, and inspected it carefully. He snapped off a tiny piece, sniffed it, then turned to the crowd. It's genuine, he said, astonished. Recently made. Murmurs filled the room. What, made recently? Someone whispered. Is the young woman really Yvette's daughter? Another voice questioned. Could it be that Yvette really was the one who created the Carefree pills? The hushed speculation continued. All eyes turned to Mr. Myers. Simon spoke. Mr. Myers, what do you have to say for yourself now? Mr. Myers inhaled deeply. I did make medicines with Yvette in the past. I didn't know that she'd successfully created the Carefree Pill. Melissa chuckled. Dr. Lincoln stepped forward. Mr. Anderson, may I know if the pill is for sale? I'm willing to pay $15,000. $80,000, another countered. $150,000, a desperate voice declared, sending a wave of gasps through the hall. Simon hesitated and was about to say not for sale when I intervened. It's for sale, of course, I stated coolly. Lowering his voice, he leaned in. Nora, do you even realize how valuable this is? I do. Straightening, I projected my voice across the hall, ensuring every person in the room heard me clearly. Harmonia Pharmacy's new product, the original Carefree Pill, will launch at the end of this month. Retail price, $3,000 per pill. The murmurs turned into shouts of urgency and demand. I want 200 pills, an eager voice rang out. I want 2,000, another declared, raising the stakes. Mr. Anderson, I'll buy 3,000 pills, someone shouted above the rest. I raised my hand, silencing the crowd. The production process is complicated. We can only produce 10,000 pills per month. There will be no wholesale pricing. A procurement representative stepped forward. Mr. Anderson, if I order 5,000 cartons of Vitality Water, will you sell me 200 Carefree pills at retail price? Simon considered the offer for a moment before nodding. Okay. From the side, Sheena smirked as Mr. Lucas spoke hesitantly. Simon, on account of our friendship, surely you'll sell me at least 500 pills, he suggested, his tone friendly now. Sheena stepped forward, arms crossed, her voice laced with amusement. Oh, so you're interested in our products now, Mr. Lucas? That'll cost you 4 times the retail price. Lucas froze. That's, he stammered. Sheena cut him off. A fair price for someone who wanted a 60% discount earlier. Amidst the chaos, Justin's assistant, Sean, analyzed the numbers over his notepad. He muttered to himself, calculating the margins. The pill retails at $3,000, but she's selling to us at $800 each. That's a $200 saving per pill. He paused, exhaling, clearly impressed. We just saved millions of dollars. A slow grin spread across his face as he turned to Justin. Mr. Hunt, Miss Smith has given us a huge cut. It almost feels like... Justin smirked, watching as Nora quietly slipped away from the crowd. Like she's being friendly to us? I let Sheena and Simon handle the deals and slipped away. I saw Justin staring at me, but just as I reached him, I turned toward Joel instead. Facing Joel, I kept my voice careful but firm. Mr. Smith, the Andersons are willing to provide your uncle's medication at no cost. Joel's expression hardened instantly. I appreciate the kindness, but my uncle will never take medication from your family. Silence. Joel then nodded curtly and walked away. Justin stepped closer. Ian Smith has great pride. Your mother embarrassed him. He won't accept it. So Ian Smith is still holding a grudge. But why did Mom run away? Who is my father? I have to find out. Turning back to Justin, I caught his expectant gaze. Miss Smith, the new product, he began, but I waved a dismissive hand. Just take it. Justin blinked, momentarily caught off guard. Okay then, thank you. Is there anything you want in return? Was this my chance to get my son? Only one way to find out. Will you give me whatever I ask for? He held my gaze. Yes. I'd saved my family, but my past still haunted me. Standing before Justin, who'd offered me anything, I felt the weight of my desires. My mother's secrets, my father's identity, and my son Pete all hung in the balance. What would I ask? Pete? Answers? Or something more dangerous?